There really is nothing like the buzz of television. Whether you're watching it or making it.
As soon as that red light goes on, it's game time.
He's like, I want to go home now.
But when things go wrong on telly, if it's live, there's no take two.
Oh my God!
Calma!
Anything can happen.
If it messes up, get on with it.
Since the golden days of TV, calamities have unfolded live before our very eyes.
Anything could go wrong. It sort of attracts danger.
Say, I have no idea what's going on there, and don't try and ignore it.
And over the years, the cameras have captured some truly memorable moments. From technical shambles, heart-stopping accidents,
This is live. We have no idea how he is.
sex malfunctions, bust-ups and brawls.
Then all hell breaks loose.
The whole nation was in double shock.
You have history happening in front of your eyes.
It looked like a night out in Newcastle. It was very exciting.
Animal attacks, calamitous cock-ups,
It's warts and all.
and unplanned audience participation.
Ωστόσο, όσοι απέμειναν.
So strap yourselves in and get ready for the roller coaster ride of your life.
You've got to keep going. The show must go on.
Because this is when television goes horribly wrong. Welcome to the show. With millions of worldwide TV channels beaming live news to their respective nations, we're heading down under to Australia with weather presenter Stevie Jacobs, who got much more than he bargained for during an early morning live broadcast.
We expect a great deal of our weather forecasters. They're always sent out to the eye of the storm, or where the wind is blowing like crazy, or where you're 6 feet in snow, or there's floods, or you're up to your waist in floods. But this is a bit different.
This is Marnie, who's a little bit excited.
Here's a man with a pelican, which is absolutely determined to have a go at him.
Why? You just have to go, why put a pelican in a small space with a weatherman?
They like humans, and they like coming quite close with their little cracky beaks.
Okay, we'll meet the two of them again, but I might just get straight into the weather, guys.
And they cut away from him, which is fabulous, but they don't cut the sound.
You love it. You love it.
So you hear him going, no, he's got my bum. What's going on?
That pelican had the mind of a gay man, because we all wanted to do that to that hot weather man. He was really hot, so I think that pelican had witnessed a few scenes in a couple of gay bars and was like, I'm gonna get this guy, and then rimmed him. You love it. You love it.
I thought he dealt with it extraordinarily well, and he was very funny.
Its beak can fit more than its belly can. I tell you what, just fit a whole lot of rump snake in then. Oh, good God.
Oh, dear.
I gotta sit down. Woo, when animals attack.
Don't think he was hurt very, very seriously indeed, but the viewers would have loved every single minute of it.
There's a beauty, never expected. Have my butt taken off by pelican.
Very nice, Stevie.
Never work with animals, or birds, or pelicans.
Even more evidence to prove that animals and TV just don't mix. The Early Bird Show was a live 5-hour production that enthralled Australian kids every Saturday on Network 10.
The Early Bird Show is like an Australian version of Going Live. It's like it's a live TV show for kids.
Live Saturday morning children's television is a very dangerous place.
One of its stars was Marty the Monster.
And they've got Marty the Monster.
Marty the Monster,
which is the equivalent of, say,
Mr. Blobby.
Mr. Blobby
Meets the Honey Monster.
Yeah.
You know, the mascot of the programme, you might say.
hideous-looking thing.
One regular guest was animal expert Fritz Martin, who on this occasion was accompanied by Rags the kangaroo.
How old's Regs?
Regs is 9 years old these days, Darryl.
How are you, mate?
That's pretty old for a red kangaroo.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, they usually only live about that long in the wild.
Rags the kangaroo.
Oh, is he a presenter?
No.
Right.
He's a real kangaroo.
Actually, Marie's going to stand back there. She's a little bit...
Come on, Marie, come on. You've met Rags before.
I love him.
Hey!
He's been on a few TV shows, hasn't he?
Marty the monster kind of keeps coming up to Rags.
Which clearly Rags the kangaroo finds threatening. And who wouldn't, quite frankly?
Rags? Rags? Whoa, what are you doing? Hey, cut it out.
He obviously didn't like anything yellow and fluffy.
See how he wants to get over and see Marty. Oh, here we go again.
Rags the kangaroo sees Marty the monster and obviously thinks it's some sort of bear or some sort of other thing.
Take it easy on him, Marty. They are the best of friends. Mate, I didn't know you were the best of friends.
Rags decides to take on the monster.
And grabs hold of him and gets him in a headlock.
Gets her firm, and he's got a good grip.
He's a big kangaroo.
He's massive, isn't he?
You see the muscles on him.
Incredibly well developed chest muscles, arm muscles. Gets him on the ground in a full wrestling submission.
He literally was crushing him to the point where this guy just fell on the floor. He couldn't even physically, kick this kangaroo off.
Let him go. Come on. Let him go.
And now pronounce him monster and kangaroo.
They could have been being strangled under there, and you
Yes.
wouldn't know because the big smiley monster mask is still smiley monster.
This could be the end of a good career for a monster,
I'm not doing it. I'm just hanging around. Oh, that's better. Whoa. Sorry about that.
Eventually, it peeled off with great effort by the keeper.
And you'd think, like, at that point, Marty the monster had...
Stop.
Well, go.
Yeah,
get
yeah.
out of it. You
Yeah.
know, there's a mad kangaroo in the studio.
I go through that every week at the Animal Kingdom.
Someone should say, go away, clear off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually put on the steak, a bit of bread.
Do you know what day it is, mate?
Rags is now so wound up that he's kicking 7 shades of shite out of his keeper. He's kicking him, he's throttling him.
Hey, whoa. Now, Marty's upset him, and I'm getting all the punishment. Whoa, cut it out. You got a bit of bread there, Marty? Oh, yeah, go and get us a slice of bread and Rags and settle down a bit, because I'll have to take him back soon.
So the handler says, give him some bread. That's what he wanted, some bread.
Bread,
I'd say
bread,
they can control him.
But I tell you what...
Like a bit of egg with it.
Yeah, no egg, just a bit of bread will do, Marty.
And then the next minute he's gone,
The kangaroo just wanted to hit him and knocked Marty out. Why didn't Marty leave? And then the kangaroo probably would have calmed down. But no, Marty kept coming back for more. That was really dumb.
See, I'm not sure whether it's the monster that got the kangaroo angry or the presenter in his stonewashed denims and his feather cut.
I've got to head back to the Animal Kingdom, Monbulk, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Chris.
It was just fabulous bit of telly.
Back to good old Blighty now, and one great British institution that's been running for over 100 years. Crufts is a live event, organised and hosted by the UK Kennel Club. It's a treat for millions of dog-loving TV viewers who lap up Channel 4's live coverage of this annual 4-day event.
Crufts is absolutely huge, and I think that most people, when they first attend, are completely taken aback by just how big it is.
If you meet, I don't know, some tribe in the Amazon who've never seen Western civilization before and try and explain Crufts to them, they'd be like, I don't understand.
We take up 5 halls of the NEC.
It's one of my favourite programmes, especially as a kid, mad dog lover.
We have 160,000 or thereabouts number of visitors over 4 days. And we have around 25 to 27,000 dogs.
And these are all, elite dogs that are groomed to an inch of their life.
You've got to do it live because the dogs that enter that have got very strict agents.
This is their life's work. They have nothing else. They don't even see their partner anymore because they're training the
bloody dog.
They've done everything they can. They get a few seconds in the ring, and it all boils down to this last moment, and it's live on TV.
The next one to go is Carol Dicker, working Zeta, pronounced Zeta.
Crufts 2015 were testing the dogs on agility.
A dog and handler is essentially a partnership. They will have worked together, they'll have competed in agility for any number of years.
You think just showing your dog is hard. The agility, this is months, years of training from a puppy. You have to be fit yourself because, you know, they have to run round with them.
Working sheepdog, 3 years of age.
Border Collie, beautiful, highly intelligent dog, probably the most trainable dog, has been doing this for months and is smashing this course.
Nice run at the moment. Handler and dog sticking nicely together. Oh.
His bloody owner trips up.
Oh.
She's like that bang, trying to put a claim in against Crufts.
Oh, had a quick while over. So unfortunately we pick up a 5 refusal there because the dog pulled away from it, but nevertheless, they'll continue working the course.
This poor lady just, unfortunately, slips over.
Causing the dog to hesitate, the poor dog gets penalised for the trainer falling.
It could even be a double bluff by the dog. The dog's probably seen her fall over a million times, but he's still checking so that no one else realises she just can't get round a course.
She's got one job, point, and she falls over and ruins it for him.
Oh.
How embarrassing, falling over in the main ring at Crufts.
I feel so sorry for him. He'd worked hard all year, and the trainer lets him down at that crucial moment. I don't even know if they made the final. I hope he did, though.
The same nerve-wracking course was the scene of another foul-up when millions cheered on Claire Richardson and Libby in 2012.
They're running along, it's great, the dog's doing fantastic.
Handling well ahead of the dog, well ahead of the dog. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't.
This dog was going like the clappers. It was having a great day.
You make the dog go behind you and you can lose control. Whoops! Oh, no!
Just before the end, he goes, "Do you know what? I've had enough of this."
And then suddenly stops and takes a massive dump.
A dog's got to do what a dog's got to do. What a shame. Oh, dear. Disqualified. What was the reason for the disqualification?
They couldn't even bring themselves to say he's having a shit.
Now, that's not very nice, is it?
And it wasn't just a little pebble either. It was a full dog egg.
A dog's got to do what a dog's got to do. What a shame.
I love that dog. I wanted that dog to win just for that moment.
The fact that this happened is just one of those things.
Oh, no!
It is a disqualifier.
A dog's got to do what a dog's got to do.
Very funny for the audience, not funny for the owner or for the dog, actually, because the dog gets disqualified.
But she's still smiling, Peter. Well, outwardly, anyway.
Well, you have to.
Outwardly.
Best moment of Crufts ever.
He's like the equivalent of Paula Radcliffe to running events, you know, where Paula actually sprinting along, she's doing great, and she's like, "Do you know what, hang on, let's just have this out."
When you've travelled 14 hours for a 4-minute interview with a movie star, you have to hope that the star is in a good mood. Reporter Layla McKinnon found this out in 2010 when chatting to Denzel Washington for Australia's Channel 9 flagship show, A Current Affair, about his movie Unstoppable.
How did you feel about climbing all over a moving train?
You got used to it.
I love Denzel Washington. I like most of his movies. I think he's a terrific actor.
Playing a baddie, is that more fun than playing a good guy?
No, I don't know. Maybe. It depends upon the part.
Here's a reporter from Australia's #1 current affairs show, a show that's got a massive audience,
Yeah, this reporter had flown halfway round the world to see him.
with the aim of promoting him and his film.
Big moment, big star. She sat down for her interview, asked the first question, and he's like, "What are you asking me that for?"
You've had some amazing co-stars. Who stands out, do you think, when you look back as some of the great talents?
I don't look back. For what?
He's in a bad mood, and unfortunately, the reporter is right
in the firing line.
She's just trying to do a really nice tribute piece for Denzel Washington, and he doesn't want to play ball with her.
Something must have got up his nose. Or maybe he was on his 37th interview that afternoon.
Denzel Washington did not want to be at that press junket on that day, did he? Or any other day by the looks of it.
So what do you look to? Is there anybody that you're keen to work on? What do you still want to achieve?
Well, you know, I want to have a good day today.
Stop giving the girl a hard time, Denzel.
She was somebody who was well prepared, and he belittled her the whole way through that interview.
You want Denzel Washington to be a gentleman, don't you? And he's not, is he?
So career highlights, I guess, winning 2 Academy Awards would be at the pinnacle?
There you go back to the past again.
He didn't want to talk about the past. I mean, what's going on?
What was wrong with talking about his past? She's talking about his history. She's talking about the things he's achieved. He doesn't want to know.
Yes, Denzel, she is going to talk about the past. The film you just recorded that you're here to promote is now in the past, as are your other films.
Your film at the moment is not very good, so we need to talk about the past. And he wouldn't. What a nightmare.
Because I want to show all of this
Hell,
great
you got
stuff.
you got an agenda here going.
Here's Denzel
Well, all right,
winning.
just tell me what it is you want, and maybe I can help you there.
What's it
yeah,
like?
I won 2 Oscars, yes.
He is basically just not going to give her anything.
I so felt for her. She had the patience of a saint. I don't care whether he's a Hollywood movie star. I don't care how many films he's been in. I don't care how much money he earns. I mean, God, did she plough through that? And did he give her a hard time? Nothing gives anybody the right to patronise and belittle somebody like that.
Alonzo Harris, great villain.
Training Day?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm good. Keep going to the past, huh? You got your thing worked out.
What's she going to say? What did you have for breakfast this morning?
Every single time she tries, he cuts her dead.
Well, I'll play a clip of Alonzo Harris
yeah.
right there.
Yeah, Alonzo, what else? What else you trying to get in?
It was just beyond painful, and I think she handled it just beautifully.
10 out of 10 to the reporter interviewer, none out of 10 to Denzel Washington.
She so must have smacked that wall when she left that room.
Thank you very much, Denzel.
Apologise to that young lady. You're being rude and aggressive. But you didn't speak to his wife like that.
Denzel Washington, what an arrogant pig.
I wouldn't speak to my wife like that.
I'm disappointed in Denzel.
Denzel Washington there being a dick.
No.
Still in Australia, and in 2014, TV crews are covering the breaking news of the launch of the new iPhone. Reporter Lisa Fernandez bagged an exclusive live interview with the first punter to get his hands on one.
How come you got the first one, Jack?
I have no idea.
Okay, let's actually open it. Hold my microphone.
Yeah.
Okay, how do we... This is live TV. Oh, yeah, great. Yeah, hold on.
There's a reporter wanting to have a word with him, be with him as he opens the box to reveal the first ever iPhone 6 in Australia to be purchased.
Whoa, Jack, this is so exciting. Okay, got it. Jack, it's your phone. You open it. Here, all right.
This thing of great beauty and sophistication is about to be revealed to the world. The stakes are incredibly high.
We're doing the reveal. His name's Jack.
The phone literally jumps into the air and goes splat on the concrete floor. And everyone's just like... He's down there, he's picking it up, he's dusting it off, and it's like, no, it's okay, it's all right. She hasn't got any questions about what happens when the phone falls on the floor, how's it feel and all that. No, she goes, I don't know what to say.
I'm not quite sure what to say right now, but...
Which is the thing you don't say if you're trying to forge a career in being a journalist.
I felt for that boy. But at the same time, you think you queued overnight to get a phone. You should have greater priorities at 15.
All right, that's it there.
Go out, take some drugs, have some fun.
There is the person who thinks, oh, that poor guy on television too. And there's the rest of us who think, yeah, serves him right, show off.
How much was it, Jack?
$999.
$999.
The people at Apple, they spend millions and millions making the phones, but I think they spend a little bit more designing the boxes so that when you open them, the phone falls automatically onto the floor and you have to go and buy another one.
Shit!
Costa Rica, a Central American paradise. But when the locals aren't sunning themselves on the beautiful beaches, they also watch chat shows. One example is K-Rica, a health magazine show broadcasting on Expa TV. It's hosted by Jill Payer and features everything from healthy cooking to mental health. In this particular episode, Jill is discussing a viewer's depression issues with her psychologist father, Dr. William Fairmont, live on air.
You can't be a true live presenter unless you're actually willing things to go wrong, because what it does, you can do programmes day after day after day live, but you're not being tested unless something goes wrong. And I always say to any younger presenters who ask me for advice, I say, remember this, you're not paid for when it goes right, you're paid for when it goes wrong.
I mean, sometimes you just can't plan for the unforeseen situations that will happen. You know, a guest won't turn up, some of the set will fall down.
Es una depresión bipolar, le han dicho, porque tiene un año de estar con un psiquiatra. Desde que vive con su actual, está temblando fuertísimo en este momento. Oh my God! Oh my God!
An earthquake on live telly? No one can ever expect there to be an actual earthquake.
You can see everything moving, the camera's juddering.
The lady's face was absolutely in terror.
You can see the panic in their faces and they're thinking, we need to style this out.
Fuertísimo en este momento. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Calma!
Oh my God!
Calma! 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 But the calmest man in the studio is the host. It's William. And he says in Spanish to stay calm. Calma!
Calma? There's a blinking earthquake.
And actually, that kind of thing had happened to him apparently 6 years before. They'd had an earthquake. And so, when it came to earthquakes, yeah, he was an old hand. Calma! Calma! That's terremoto.
Why don't you just get out of there as quick as you can, because you just don't know what's going to happen next?
I think we've all been brought up to believe that, well, it's for the telly. You know, you've got to keep going.
As long as the cameraman's still there and everybody's still filming, you'd carry on.
Wow.
That's a terremoto.
Wow.
The earthquake finally stops, and then they have it in their face. They're like, we survived it. We lived through it.
Most of us would have got up and hightailed it out of there.
Blimey, I'd be running, I've got to say.
Nothing, even a chat show, is worth risking your life for.
Fuertísimo en este momento. Oh my God!
Calma,
oh my
calma,
God.
calma!
Oh my God!
Calma, calma!
Over to the USA now and upstate New York, which is home to True Talk, a magazine show on Channel 16, one of hundreds of cable channels in the region. The show features a psychic segment where audience members can ask questions of a medium. This week, it's Psychic Tita.
There's a fabulous show called Psychic Tita. And the clue's in the title. She's a psychic.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
I was just wondering, my dad passed away and it's coming up to his anniversary. If you could tell me a little bit about him.
Pardon?
Her wonderful spiritualness and engaging with things that are beyond our ken, beyond our knowledge, is slightly ruined by the fact she's slightly deaf. You are.
A psychic who can't hear? That is seriously, seriously weird.
Now, how does that affect my song, though?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you very well.
Being a psychic is all about hearing voices, and if you can't hear them very well, you're onto a bit of a non-starter.
If the spirits were speaking through Tita, I don't think she'd be able to hear them, would she?
Can't you get free hearing tests at Specsavers now?
Spirits are quite quiet tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I can't. What are you saying?
I want more than anything else this one wish for this, my song, because I sang it for my dad before, just a week before he passed on.
I feel so sorry for the lady in the audience who has written a song and she's just desperate to know, is it going to be successful or not? She just wants to be steered in the right direction. Do I go for this? Do I not go through this? Tita's not got a clue.
I wonder if that song ever did become a success. We'll never know. Certainly Tita didn't know, because she didn't even know what they were asking her.
Okay, how about my love life? Is anything in that happening?
It's kind of quiet right now.
I think if Tita offered me a reading, I would probably pass.
I know a lot about it because I'm a medium myself. It says I'm my underpants.
American athlete and actor Ronda Rousey is the female face of male-dominated sport mixed martial arts, where the bouts include punching, kicking, and wrestling your opponent. After first winning an Olympic bronze medal in Beijing for judo, Ronda competed in MMA's Ultimate Fighting Championship and was the bantamweight champion for 3 years, being viewed by many as the world's best female martial artist. In February 2015, the unbeaten champion was interviewed for an online martial arts chat show.
Aaron True MMA Show here with rowdy Ronda Rousey, coming off an impressive victory in your Strikeforce debut against Sarah DeLeo.
My name is Aaron True. I'm from Orange County, California, and I absolutely love combat sports and action sports.
As a beginner who's never competed in judo and who has a white belt on, I've got to be honest. I've always wondered, what would it be like to compete against someone who's been in the Olympics for judo, someone who dominates all the other women, arm bars everywhere.
The True MMA Show was a chat show and interview-based show where I would take on the top celebrities in action sports every week. And my goal was to do a bigger and badder stunt each time.
Not to take anything away from you because you're a female, but I don't think you have as much strength and can compete with a man, even though I'm a white belt. Are you willing to take the True MMA Show challenge today?
Yes, I'm very willing.
I figured, hey, she's a woman. How tough could she be?
You know how to push my buttons. That was exactly how to get me to throw you.
Obviously, you're goading her, aren't you?
I think if you're going to say to Ronda Rousey, I don't think women are as strong as men, you're asking for it, to be honest.
So I figure we'll do a little friendly demonstration. But apparently she didn't like my sexist remarks. And she decided to really show me who's the boss in that gym.
So, of course, what does she do? She throws him. She absolutely floors him.
And you're thinking to yourself, well, you brought this on yourself, mate.
I'm sorry.
When she threw me, there's a lot that goes through your head in that split second. It's almost like slow motion, like time freezes. And when I hit the ground, the truth is, I thought I was paralyzed.
I felt my ribs crush. I landed on my balls and my ribs.
And you just hear him go, oh, my ribs, oh, and I think I crushed my balls.
I can't believe, looking back on it, how strong and how fluid Ronda Rousey's technique is. She picked me up in midair like a rag doll. I mean, she crushed me. She crushed everything inside of me, from my spleen, my ribs, to my manhood. It was incredible.
I felt my ribs break, I think.
Are you serious?
I think so.
Oh, no.
Let's just say my ribs have never been the same.
You know what? If you're gonna play with the big girls, you're bound to get hurt, Aaron.
I definitely felt something smash.
The battering made for humiliating headlines, but there was an upside. Over 6 million views for that episode of the True MMA Show.
Don't mess with Ronda.
I'm honestly deathly afraid of her. She almost killed me.
I'm serious, are you okay?
Pretty happy. All about the bunnies.
Now, if you're a sports journalist, sometimes reporting from the event itself can have its own hazards.
There's this great clip of when the South Sydney Rabbitohs won the Rugby League Cup final.
They're jamming about
Australian reporter Tom Steinfort is covering the highly anticipated 2014 National Rugby League Grand Final for Channel 9 News in South Sydney. And boozed-up locals are celebrating as their team, the Rabbitohs, have just won the league final for the first time in 43 years.
You can imagine your team's won, emotions are running really high, and you're excitable.
It's kicking off. Fans are going wild. So the local TV station sent down the reporter to get in amongst it, to get some colour and some flavour of the event. Mistake! Complete mistake.
And the pub's still spilling over onto the streets. They are absolutely in full voice. I'm sure you can hear it.
And the telltale phrase, the fans are spilling out into the street. Now, you should think, as soon as you hear that, that's going to be a recipe for disaster.
You can see the red and green behind us. This pub, I've only seen a couple of people leave here in the last hour, and that's because they were going to get bunnies tattoos.
An Aussie man is in the background as he's doing these vox pops. strips off and gets his todger out, and it's absolutely brilliant.
You can see the red and green behind us.
There's always going to be some sort of drama when you're filming live, especially with the fans, because they've been drinking all day.
And he's just wangling it about.
Because you know what men are like, they love to get naked and whackle their tackle.
The bloke's just talking happily, completely oblivious to this. And you know what? Everyone else is so oblivious, they don't even notice.
They were going to get bunnies tattoos on their arms, premiership tattoos. So look, as you can see, pretty happy.
There's no sort of gasps of, oh my God, what has he done? Everyone's just going, yeah, Jeff's got it out.
I think this party, though, it'll be a week off work for everyone.
You're asking for it, really. If you're going to stick a reporter in the middle of a bunch of fans that have been drinking all day in Australia, you're going to expect somebody to get naked. I would.
As a reporter on American local news, you know you've pulled the short straw if you get sent off to the county fair to find a story.
You always feel bad for the presenter that's been sent out to the county fair to go and get some of the atmosphere, because really what you're going to get, you're just going to get some kid eating candy floss.
When Sophia Akeda chose to interview 5-year-old Noah Ritter for a family news bulletin, she can't have expected much.
Young Noah is at the Wilkes-Barre County Fair.
What did you think about the ride?
It was great. And apparently, I've never been on live television before.
But then he sort of grabs the mic and holds the mic himself.
She surrendered the microphone. They say never surrender your microphone. She hands it over to Noah, and Noah's doing pieces to camera. You know, he's off down there.
Apparently, sometimes I don't watch the news because I'm a kid, and apparently Grandpa just gives me a remote after we watch the Powerball.
You're like, whoa, he's trying to impersonate a news presenter here. Not just that, he's saying it with some serious murderous authority.
Apparently, sometimes I don't watch the news.
Noah's 5 years old and loves the word apparently. Apparently, he uses the word apparently many times during a 2-minute interview.
Because I'm a kid, and apparently Grandpa just gives me a remote after we watch the Powerball.
I can handle this situation, so I'm just going to use the word apparently, completely out of context, and about 18 times in the space of 2 seconds.
Tell me about the ride. What did you think about the ride?
Well, it was great.
Why?
Because apparently...
He kind of rolls around the R's of the apparently.
Apparently.
Apparently, I should use that word if I ever get to be live on a news channel.
Apparently, you're spinning around, and apparently every time you get dizzy, that's all you do is get dizzy.
Which he currently is, apparently.
That's the thing. You've got to record the situation. You've got to make sure you know your contributors. Don't just go all wild out, because that kid got way more screen time than he deserved. Because honestly, that kid scares the hell out of me.
Yeah. And I've never, ever been on live television. I never, ever be on live television.
What weirds me out about this kid is the way he's standing like a 56-year-old bodybuilder. His stance is like this.
Yeah, and apparently I only went down the super slide. When I went down the lawn, I was scared half to death.
I have a feeling Noah went back for more later on. I really do. She wants to look out for a job, that presenter.
Turns out the kid didn't even want to be a news presenter in the end. Just wanted to be a paleontologist, apparently.
I just freak out.
Nowadays, TV shows are strictly controlled to be healthy and safe. But 60 years ago, even kids' programmes could be hazardous.
So there was this kids' TV programme called Super Circus. It was from the States.
A live kids' TV show. You gotta love live kids' TV, you really have. Back in the days of black and white.
It basically featured everything to do with a circus, so acrobats, clowns, that kind of thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children everywhere, your Super Circus show is on once again with more laughs, thrills, and chills for your television entertainment.
Super Circus ran from 1949 to 56, and one of its performers was Vivian Nelson, who had her trapeze act and equipment adapted for smaller venues.
You've got this circus trapeze act going on.
So she's there swinging along, looking like, she'd have the best time in the world. Then all of a sudden, she goes crashing to the ground.
It's almost like a load of toilet rolls that have all just been super glued together and then just collapse. And she stacks it. She absolutely decks it off this swing.
And you see loads of stage help running to the frame of the swing.
the 1950s, a lesson in health and safety gone wrong.
I see that Miss Vivian Nelson wasn't injured. I knew she wouldn't be because she didn't fall very far. She didn't really fall at all.
The presenter goes off on one going, oh no, she's absolutely fine. She didn't fall very far.
She just kind of eased to the ground.
Poor woman, she's probably knocked her front teeth out. She's probably given herself whiplash.
So you just think, okay, cool, that's the end.
Here's one of the most delightful 14-year-olds we've ever had the pleasure of presenting, Miss Christine. Come on, Chris.
And then what do they go and do? They go and bring a child in and go, there you go, kid. You can hop on top of that and start flinging yourself around as well.
And you're like, what, so now you're going to have two people on this rickety old swing that has just broken.
If that was me, I'd have been out of that door. Fair play to the woman. Live TV, the show must go on. So she gets onto the top of it. She just does this little test. Yep, that'll do. Give it a try, and off she goes.
You're literally on the edge of your sofa going, this is all going to go wrong. They're both going to fall. This 14-year-old girl is just going to go plummeting down to break her legs. That could never happen nowadays.
On now to the very grown-up world of politics. Community Access TV makes grassroots programmes, and what they lack in slick production values, they make up for with unrestrained passion. The Bleepin' Truth is broadcast live in Tampa, Florida, and features lively political debate.
Today we have a special treat. I have two people that have been on the show twice before, and I would liken them, actually twice before with each other, and I would liken them to Ali and Frazier.
In August 2006, the show hosted Democrats supporting Joe Redner with the ponytail, along with heavyweight right-wing Republican Tony Katz.
There you go again. You called me a
No,
liar.
you can't quote Ronald Reagan with me.
During the show, they had clashed on numerous topics and tensions were running high.
This is live TV at its best or worst, depending on your point of view.
That's two things that you said about me
You
in
both-
here,
you
and
both
that-
went
and then
personal.
And then you accuse me of being personal.
Joe Redner and Tony Katz are having this political debate on a TV show.
They've been carefully chosen to be enemies.
I'm
When
talking about
you-
your politics.
You started
You're
being
talking about my
personal.
weight.
But you would think that good sense would prevail.
You have
You
a
called
problem
me a
with
liar.
talking about
You
the
called
facts.
me a liar. I'm not a liar.
And you get
I called
very
you
aggressive.
Fat. You are fat.
You are very aggressive.
The adrenaline's going.
And everyone's just waiting for that, oh my God moment.
And it's obvious that you want to hit me, but you haven't done it yet, so we're all waiting. My advice to you is that you need to work on that control issue, and let's keep talking about the issues.
I have to say that that's the only reason that I would tune into a political debate, because it was actually fun.
Am I a liar?
Yes, you have lied on this program about the
Are
issues.
you fat?
Yes. Hi,
All right,
America.
Now tell
Good
me
to see
what
you.
I lied about, and you can get up and show them you're fat.
So it had got to the situation here where one's like, you're fat, you're a liar. I mean, you know it's never going to go well when they're just trading insults like that.
Both of them seem to forget, actually, you're on TV and you're spitballing arguments and insults like kids.
Television's quite an extraordinary medium in one sense, and it does seem to light up the most extraordinary emotions in people.
You won't talk
Tell
about
them what
the
I
issues,
lied. Tell them
Joe.
what
It's
I
not
lied.
my problem.
Guys,
that you're not
That's the
conversation.
issue. Is not lying.
Here you are, Joe.
Do it.
Joe,
Do it.
you
Tell
are
them
a
what
child.
I lied about, fat boy.
No, come on, Joe, please. I'm sorry.
Then give
Let's
it
not
them.
let's not do this.
This is absolutely fantastic because you've got Joe Redner calling Tony Katz a fat boy.
You can see it escalating, and when he calls him that,
Sorry, Tony.
Keep your hands off of me.
Fuck you. Hey, guys,
fat boy.
please.
And you think that Tony Katz has taken it.
I think it sunk in after he'd gone off the set.
And you know that saying, it ain't over until the fat girl sings?
Please. Folks, I'm sorry you had to see that.
Why?
It's not right. Tony.
That's assault. That is assault.
Well, it ain't over till the fat boy throws a chair.
and the people there are obviously looking back going, well, hey, well, what do we do? What? Ah! And over comes a white chair. You expect to lose your temper a bit, but you don't expect to have a chair thrown at you.
What could have been a sensible debate between two intelligent people just turned into a punch-up with, in the end, someone throwing a chair. What was that all about?
Despite suffering bruising, Redner didn't press charges. But with the incident hitting the headlines, the channel vowed to reassess before deciding if the pair would ever be allowed on the show again.
It's not right. Tony.
That's assault. That is assault.
The 60s were the early days of live TV, and one of the biggest stars in the world was American President John F. Kennedy, and wherever he went, the cameras followed.
Despite being a ladies' man, he was also very popular, I think, as a clever, young, good-looking president. He was down on Dallas that day, showing himself and greeting Americans.
Several thousand enthusiastic Texans are on hand to give the President and Mrs. Kennedy a warm welcome.
This wasn't a great state occasion. This was just a president going about their job of trying to make sure they were going to get a second term.
It was absolutely fantastic. He's the President of the United States, and he looked like a film star.
President's car is now turning onto Elm Street, and it will be only a matter of minutes before he arrives at the trademark.
He was driven in an open back car with his wife, surrounded by security men.
The car was coasting down very slowly because there were lots of people there applauding and watching.
Even the freeway was jam-packed with spectators waiting their chance to see the president as he made his way towards the trademark.
They wanted to wave at all the people in Texas. They wanted their votes.
He was driving very slowly through Dallas. You hear the first shot, second shot, third shot.
And one, of course, which did all the damage, hit Kennedy in the back of the head.
Although the world's media was there, the live cameras didn't pick up on the shot.
Who would have expected that in the middle of Dallas, Texas, on that sunny afternoon, someone would take a pot shot at the most famous person in the entire world?
It appears as though something has happened in the motorcade route. Something, I repeat, has happened in the motorcade route. There's numerous people running up the hill alongside Elm Street.
The minute the president was shot,
the car speeds up and they rush off to the hospital.
And the first unconfirmed reports say the president was hit in the head.
people couldn't believe what they had just seen.
President Kennedy has been assassinated. It's official now. The president is dead. Women here in shock, some have fainted. Grown men, Secret Service men standing by the emergency room, tears streaming down their face.
We were watching TV, and it was just mesmerizing.
Around the world, disbelief was the first reaction. Then a great outpouring of grief, shock, and revulsion.
These few days really shocked the nation so much that they couldn't really work out what was going on.
A proud banner is lowered. The empty White House is a symbol of this infamous mockery of American ideals of peace and freedom.
It was a terrific loss to America, because he was such a bright, young spark.
What a television event that was, what a world event it was, of course.
It appears as though something has happened in the motorcade route. Something, I repeat, has happened in the motorcade route.
I mean, a major world event unfolding before your very eyes.
The area is aswarm with police, rangers, and Secret Service men. The murderer slips the net, but a few blocks away, a man is captured after he is reported to have killed a policeman.
After that, of course, we have this equally incredible sequence of Lee Harvey Oswald, the man accused of attempting to murder President Kennedy, in the police station.
There's an ominous symbol in Lee Harvey Oswald's murder weapon, as he is taken to the city jail basement where an armored car is to move him to a maximum security cell.
Lee Harvey Oswald is being taken out of the basement of a police station and he's being taken away to court.
He's been shot. He's been shot. Lee Oswald has been shot.
Jack Ruby, a local kind of gangster, steps out and shoots Lee Harvey Oswald in the stomach.
Another camera recorded the deed in slow motion. The film is stopped as the shot is fired.
Ruby had a gun and he produced a pistol and shot him. It was chaos.
He's been shot. He's been shot.
Someone had attempted to kill this guy.
The dying Oswald is rushed to the same hospital where President Kennedy died. Doctors worked to save his life.
Most Americans would have almost killed him themselves, I think, because it was so unpopular for what he'd done.
But 48 hours and 7 minutes after the president's death, his accused slayer is dead.
The whole nation was in double shock.
That was one of the most extraordinary situations where you have history happening in front of your eyes.
It just shattered America.
And on the 25th of November 1963, President Kennedy was laid to rest.
Down this avenue of sadness, they bring President John F. Kennedy, martyred hero, to lie in state under the great dome of the Capitol. The world will remember those words of President Kennedy and his inaugural plea. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.